Pick-me's. The word has been used in so many circumstances, from our daily lives to pop culture to celebrities and what I'll be discussing today, K-pop stans. We have our infamous cute strawberry eater, Wonyoung. Also the quote-unquote male idol attention seeker, Yuna. And even worse, the girl who sought attention by crying at her friend's funeral, Yeri. These three girls, among many others, have been slaughtered by hate and allegations by K-pop fans who obviously have nothing else better to do with their lives. These fans for years have been taking the term pick me out of context and screwed around with it where the meaning is totally lost. But all they're doing is making themselves look more like a pick me. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be discussing about pick-me's and how it pertains to K-pop. So in this video, I will be discussing the following. Number 1, what really is a pick-me? Number 2, the pick-me's of K-pop and why they aren't pick-me's. Number 3, K-pop stans having their pick-me mentality. Lastly, number 4, how we as K-pop stans can avoid this mentality. Now, let's just get right into it. So, the Urban Dictionary defines a pick-me as a girl who go out of their way to impress boys and make them seem like they're not like the other girls. But what a lot of people don't know is the original origins of the term pick-me. And no, it isn't this.
Today at school? How did you see me? I'm so tiny! Do you wanna go out?
What most people don't know by now is that a lot of TikTok terms, slang, and trends have already existed, and most of them existed because of already popular AAVE or just things that Black people have said on other platforms. Nothing is more true than the term pick-me. It started on Twitter by a thread started by Black women in 2016 with the hashtag #tweetlikeapickme. These users mocked women who fell under the quote-unquote wifey material, but it has an even further historical meaning when it applies to Black women. According to an article I found called Not Like the Other Black Girls, Pick-meism and the Early Strategies in Self-Preservation, written by Celio Jane, she says in the article, quote, at its core, and particularly when practiced by Black women, it makes the attempt at self-preservation by participating in a rhetoric that considers certain Black women, most of them even, as having earned the harm that they experience, or not having enough to present it, unlike the exceptional few who are quote-unquote picked for the far better treatment, end quote. Terrible, but definitely true. Now that I am a Black woman and I once was a young black girl, from media to real life, we were always taught that when we were picked by a Black man, we need to hold him close, and we are usually blamed if the relationship fails. It seems that if we aren't worthy of love or good treatment in general. Also, this term is rooted in misogyny, which for those who don't know exactly what it means, it's simply defined as the dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women. According to another article that I found written by Sabine Walt, she writes, quote, pick-me girls want attention from men because as women, we have been told that that is what is important. We're taught to appeal to the male gaze and that being like other women is a bad thing. Starting off, as soon as women can understand the dynamics of our society, we're told that we need to appeal to men to fit ourselves into the misogynistic world we're going to grow up in. Women are told we shouldn't be like those other girls. Instead, we should fit in this perfect idealized version of feminine but not slutty conversation, but not loud and unique, but not to stand out too much. Therefore, being any of the latter is negative, and we should hate on women who embody them. The difference between women and pick-me girls is that this mentality has stuck with the pick-me's, end quote. Even though this term was originally rooted in AAVE, it has usually been used throughout media for women and men to be misogynistic in general. Also, it's not great, but it's exactly what we're seeing within the K-pop community right now. Now that I defined some of these big terms I will be repeatedly mentioning in this video, let's discuss the main pick-me's of K-pop. By the way, if you're interested in a fuller explanation of the historical background of the term pick-me, Everglow Up has an amazing video on this topic. Honestly, the inspiration of this video as a whole. The link will be provided in the card and description box if you would like to check that out to learn more. So the main slayers of pick-me girls in K-pop that I'm going to be talking about today are Wonyoung from IVE, Yuna from itzy, and the OG Yeri from Red Velvet. So let's get into their accusations. For those who don't know her, Yeri is the youngest member of the girl group Red Velvet. She joined Red Velvet a year later because she was under the broadcast age, which was 16. When she did join, she got a lot of hate from netizens because of her late addition to the group. Her positions, people said that she didn't add anything to the group because of those, and her looks. She couldn't smile, let alone breathe, without people hating on her for it. In this next section, I will be discussing death/grief. So if you're not in the right place to hear about these things, I suggest you skip to this time mark in the video. Thank you! If things couldn't get even worse, Yeri was good friends with Jonghyun from SHINee, and when he passed, it was devastating to her. But disgustingly, people were quick to bully her, calling her a quote-unquote attention seeker, and of course, a pick-me for crying at his funeral. There was so much hate going on with Yeri by both fans and SM, so I'll link a video in the card if you would like to learn more about this situation. The most recent pick-me behavior that people have talked about with Yeri was in 2021 when she posted on Instagram and happened to use the same emoji that Jungkook of BTS used on his Instagram post that same day. Yes, an emoji. Armies called her attention seeker and clout chaser for using this emoji. Now on to Yuna, the maknae of the girl group ITZY. She debuted in itzy at only 15 years old, but netizens praised her for her stunning visuals and body proportion. A lot of the netizens started to talk about her visuals within 2 years of their debut, saying her visuals were getting worse, with other fans disagreeing with the haters, coming to her defense because she was only 17 at the time. The reason she was named a pick-me girl was when she was an MC and often interacted with boy groups, which made people jealous. It was also a thing where people said they saw her staring at Hyunika and called her desperate, which was a little weird. And also she had a video where she was scared of the confetti when she happened to be standing next to the MC at the time, Sunghoon from ENHYPEN. Because of her bubbly personality and friendliness with other male idols, the jealous K-pop fans were just salty that they couldn't have their Your Name moment. So that's really why she was called a pick-me. Wonyoung originally debuted in 2018 in izone and then in IVE in 2021. She was one of the most popular members in both izone and now IVE for her beauty and cute personality. Being very young when debuting, there was always a lot of eyes on her in both her izone days and now in IVE, being like that face of the group, getting brand deals, and also when she MC'd with Sunghoon. The first time she was ridiculed by a lot of netizens was when she was being interviewed on a variety show, where the host complimented her English and asked if she talked with the other members in English. And she answers that she didn't because they're bad at it.
Young since I was 7 years old. I went to kindergarten, English kindergarten.
Oh.
Not a Korean, yeah.
Okay. Do you ever speak English with other people in your group?
No, because my group actually don't speak well.
So a lot of people took this clip out of context, saying that she was being rude or cocky. Other instances of her being called a pick-me was when she was talking about her fellow member Yujin and joking around saying that Yujin didn't shower every day. People said that she was trying to lift herself up and make herself look better, which kind of started this as well. She also was that video where she was eating strawberry that people were dragging her to the ground about. That time she was playing baseball, her being disrespectful to other idols, being desperate for the attention of Sunghoon when they're MCs, and her being then turned tables of her being rude to him. Recently, because she's a popular member, people also started pointing out that it seems like she pushes for extra attention, like in the video of her pushing to be the center at the airport. In this situation, most people just joked about it, but others used it against her more. And also videos of her not bowing to other idols when she's emceeing. All these scenes were just used out of context to push the narrative that Wonyoung was just a pick-me. And I feel like this was one of the cases that people found so much things to hate on her for and are still hating her to this day. With these 3 pick-me girls of K-pop, I think it's fairly obvious why they aren't pick-me girls, but it's more of the fans. As I mentioned earlier, fans are pinning their own jealousies on these girls that are just doing their jobs, that they can't attract and interact with these male idols, their insecurities with their bodies and beauties, and maybe even other trauma they have suffered from. So now on to K-pop stans are the real pick-me's of K-pop. So now I'll be discussing the ways K-pop stans give pick-me behavior. Of course, I'll be using pick-me in the way that K-pop stans turn this term on idols, not the actual definition and origin. So first, airport and concert fans. There are countless times that K-pop fans at the airport see their idols and start freaking out and testing their boundaries. Like that one time that girl ran into Suga and started like touching him or something. Or the countless times people have crowded K-pop idols while they were walking through the airport. With all these problems, K-pop fans need to know their limits and that everything can't be a your name moment when they're risking the safeties of these idols. On the other hand, fans can go overboard at concerts, whether blowing off the concerns of the safety of the idols or the enjoyment of the concert for the others around them. Take the many times that groups had to tell the crowd to calm down when they're crowding the stage, or someone in the crowd was hurt, had fainted, trampled. It happened too many times for it even to be a thing. Or when people just focus on their your name moment when they disregard the enjoyment of other fans at the concert. Like holding their phones too high where other people behind them can't see, wearing outfits, hats, or having signs that block the view of the people behind them, pushing for the attention of idols, throwing objects on stage. The list goes on and on and on. I hope that fans would develop more of a concert airport etiquette, because right now they're acting like they say these pick-me's are, not caring about the well-being of others and these idols themselves for their moment to be chosen. Like that will happen anyway. So next, shippers. There's so many examples, but I'll make another video another time. But like, I hate that most of these fans hate when female idols give a bit of attention naturally, but totally validated for them to treat them terribly just because of natural attraction. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Y'all be so desperate and sad that y'all need to bring down fellow women that are also struggling already in this industry just for you to have whatever fantasy moment you want. Also, the fact that y'all think these idols will help you have more of a chance, you have more of a chance with them by shipping them, makes no sense. These men don't give a flying flip about you. Most of y'all are also underage. Like, y'all over here shipping and y'all not even the age to be able to date these idols anyway. So yeah, that's what I have to say about this topic. Next, Exhibit C, fan calls and fan meetings. My question is, why the same people are getting into these fan meets? Like, you're not embarrassed when San flat out said that he remembered you from the day before? That's not embarrassing to you? Also, I think that these so-called fans would like to use their opportunities to learn more about their favorite idols, or maybe even share how they inspire them and appreciate their talents. But no, we got grown women telling Hyunjin from Stray Kids to call them mommy, grown-out men being perverts at New Jean fan signs, women's wearing lingerie on a fan call with Han of Stray Kids, that weirdo with Vernon, and now let's even get into the woman being sexually weird with the minors, like Nikki of Hypen. Like, seriously, you pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get on a 1-minute call with your idol to be perverted and sexual? Seriously? This is what we're spending money buying 12 albums for. This is another example that these people trying to have their moment with these men/women who don't even really care about you personally. And it's not worth it for you guys to be acting like this. So lastly, Twitter stands, but really all social media. It's all toxic. From sending hate and throw up emojis on Jennie of Blackpink's Instagram, the toxic K-pop shorts and TikToks in the name of quote-unquote honest opinions, those nasty fan fictions used to glorify actual abuse and trauma and the deception of minors. All these things just reek of jealousy and obsession with these idols, as well as just being purely wrong, especially when it comes to, wedding minors. In conclusion, I feel like we should avoid these mentalities and just enjoy the music. I enjoy K-pop from learning about all the members of groups, choosing biases, and learning about their lives and inspiration from what they let us know. But that's just it. We don't know them personally, and they don't know us. So as real as it is, we should not be putting them and ourselves in danger and using toxicity for something meant for entertainment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye!